Hello everyone, I'm Tom Standage, Deputy Editor of The Economist and Editor of The World Ahead 2024. This is the 38th year that we've published our Future Gazing Annual, which now appears in over 90 countries and in more than 20 languages. And we're delighted to mark the launch of this year's edition in Nigeria and Ghana. Our core mission at The Economist, both in the weekly newspaper and in the World Ahead Annual, is to prepare readers for the future by helping them spot emerging themes and trends and by equipping them with the intellectual toolkit they need to respond. We aim to broaden our readers' horizons, introduce them to ideas and concepts that we think should be on their radars for the future, and give them a sense of the wider possibilities of where the world might be going. But future gazing is difficult at the best of times, and it's particularly tricky in 2024 because of a combination of uncertainty in geopolitics, unpredictability in weather patterns due to climate change, and the unexpected consequences of rapid technological progress, most obviously in artificial intelligence. One thing we do know is that this is the biggest year in history for elections. More than half the world's population live in countries that will hold national elections this year, including Ghana, South Africa and Rwanda. But one election in particular, the one in the United States, will have the biggest impact. If Donald Trump returns to power, it could have far-reaching consequences for climate policy, for trade, for America's global standing and perceived reliability as an ally, among other things. A Trump victory could affect the outcomes of conflicts in Ukraine, Gaza and elsewhere, and the prospects for future conflict between the US and China over Taiwan. Donald Trump casts a long shadow over 2024, adding further uncertainty to an already unpredictable global environment. Indeed, optimism is in short supply this year. And as we report in our pages, that extends to the economic prospects for sub-Saharan Africa. GDP growth in the region is expected to be about 4% in 2024, but the population will expand by nearly 3%, so the growth of GDP per capita will be minimal at best. On average, across Africa, 17% of government revenue will be spent on servicing external debt this year. 19 countries in Africa are expected to spend more than 20%. Higher interest rates have locked African countries out of global debt markets. And China, once a valuable source of loans and investment in the region, now faces economic problems of its own. One of the big questions for this year is whether China will suffer a prolonged period of low growth and falling prices, like Japan did starting in the 1990s. Funding from China into Africa fell by 90% between 2016 and 2022. And Africa's biggest economies, Nigeria and South Africa, lack the strength to pull others up with them. But there are opportunities in the energy sector. African countries will be among the beneficiaries of growing global demand for natural gas, the bridge fuel to the clean energy future, particularly as Europe looks for alternative suppliers to Russia. And the shift to renewable energy is redrawing the global energy resources map, as demand for lithium, copper, nickel and other metals increases. Zimbabwe is already a supplier of lithium, and Ghana's first lithium mine is now under development. If managed wisely, the green transition offers African countries a historic opportunity to turn the old idea of a resource curse into a blessing. What's clear is that to navigate today's unpredictable environment and make the most of new opportunities, you need to look at the bigger picture, be open to new ideas, and always keep an eye out for what might be coming next. We hope that the world ahead will help you do just that in 2024 and beyond.